You destroyed
That nigga turned into a preacher.
and lynched black folks on poplar trees. Shelby County, Tennessee had the most lynchings of anywhere in this state where you're taking this district, and we are still here. No matter how much you try and break us and make us bend and make us quit, we will still be here.
We're here today once again for a white sheets caucus meeting in which they're trying to disenfranchise people.
There's objections in Jones once again. That is out of order.
You know what you're doing. It's shameful, but we know that you all are going to fall in line behind this man here who's going to lead you down the path of racism and white supremacy. It's wrong. It's immoral. And when we say do justice, love mercy, and walk home.
It fails for lack of emotion.
These maps are racist tools of white
So
supremacy.
that's just the person, man. We're gonna get into some
White
more of this
supremacists
clip
in the United
right
States
now.
of
Let's
America.
go.
They did burn Tulsa. They did do a Memphis massacre. They did lynch us on poplar trees, and still we're here. So our message to the white supremacists who have decided that we somehow have lost. That this is finally the nail in the coffin. We hear the echoes of our ancestors who have still made real the ideals of the Constitution written on that parchment of paper in our blood, that are we the people. The reason I love 3 words aren't because they old, it's because it sounds so black. We the people. 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 Moving fairness and justice and equality. We the people who know that the best days for Tennessee are still ahead. We who will not bow down. We who will not quit. We who will change this state and this nation and this whole world, because that's what our ancestors did. We
He crashed. He crashed. He said we're gonna take over the whole goddamn world, nigga. Nah, he crashed out. No, I'm on the floor. Dude, funny as hell. Dude, funny as hell. But listen to this. This ain't a funny situation that's going on.
Out here this morning, getting ready to go to Nashville as we fight against the racist redistricting effort of the Tennessee General Assembly, trying to take away House representation in the U.S. Congress. But we know they're not going to stop there. This is an attack on Black voting rights, our accessibility, and agency to choose the people that we want to serve us and lead our communities. The racism that is imbued in this decision cannot be overstated. The reality is they have consistently found ways to attack and reduce Memphis's power, from my expulsion from the Tennessee House of Representatives to taking over our school board to many other laws like felon disenfranchisement that have stopped 21% of Black African-American people from being able to access the ballot. We know that this is a part of a long history of our state, and so it's not surprising that they are first. But what is important is that we continue to show up, speak up, and fight back against this. The deleterious effects of this are going to be generational if it is allowed to happen. So we've got to give everything that we can in this moment in time to stop it. Out here this morning, getting ready to go to Nashville.
Well, yeah, he be out there doing this thing, man. He came to Knoxville for a couple situations.
Tell you right
but let's get
now that we need 55,000 units of affordable housing for people who make $17,000 a year. Our minimum wage is $7.25. We have not seen an increase for decades. People are struggling. My great aunt is deciding whether or not she's going to pay for medicine or pay for groceries. You cannot say that the economy is doing well when it is doing well for billionaires, but the consequences of the action are coming home to roost. Because you know what? Farmers have retaliated against this administration's actions. And you know what this administration has said is trying to do? Give billions of dollars to them. If things were going great for people, they wouldn't have to take those actions. And what Republicans have done is give more money to the rich, the most powerful, and the billionaires, and they've left working class people.
But Lydia, and also
I can tell you right now that we need 55,000 units of affordable housing for people who make $17,000 a year.
55,000 units. Now
our minimum wage is $7.
Let's get into the next clip.
What we're dealing with right now is white supremacy at its zenith. They are literally rigging and stealing elections and stealing congressional seats because they cannot win otherwise at the behest of the president after the Cali decision of the Supreme Court. And he decided to tell our governor and a lady who's running for governor that they need to steal our only majority Black district in the entire state, which is in Memphis and Shelby County, where I currently serve as a state representative and where I'm also running to serve in the U.S. Congress for District 9. These things are not incidental or accidental. They've been building up to it over a long period of time, whether it be Shelby County v. Holder, where they gutted Section 5 of the Voting Rights Act, to now Section 2, where we were able to use the courts as a way to ensure that our representation, our voices weren't being taken away systematically. And now, surgically, they have cut our district into 3, proportionally, nearly to the percentage of 33% of Black folks in each of those districts, in order to dilute our voice, to dilute our vote, and to take away our political power. And you mentioned this, but over the next several months and couple of years, we are going to see the largest purge of Black people in elected office since the end of Reconstruction. Because right now, they're coming for congressional districts, but next they will be coming for our state house seats and our state senate seats. And let me talk particularly about the South here. In the South in particular, there are 12 to 20 U.S. congressional seats that we might be on the verge of losing. There are 200 state house and state senate seats that we will likely lose due to the response and the white lash by white supremacists who are in these positions of power. And so, yes, we must vote, and also we must build power that sustains us for the long haul and share a vision for our country, share a vision for the South, where there's healthcare access, there's opportunity in education, there isn't environmental racism and degradation, and that Black folks who are in positions of power, that we use these positions, not just to push yes and no on buttons, but to build power in the communities where we are serving. But this is the fight of our life, and everyone has to be engaged in it. Yeah, what we're dealing with right now is white supremacy at
What do y'all think about this, man? What do y'all ultimately think about this, man? I think it's absolutely interesting. The young man is trying to stomp for what he believes is right. And, I mean, you can't knock that, I guess. You can't knock that. Let's get into his last clip that he has, and then we're going to move on. I'm probably going to open up the panel. So let's get right into some more of this convo. Let's go. All right, let's get it.
As far as our founding fathers and those that owned slavery, it is important not to dilute history. We need to understand and know what that is so that we don't repeat those mistakes. But the Bible also says that we will be judged in the time of our culture. And at that time, it was a common practice. Not saying that's right or wrong. The Bible actually does instruct those who do own slaves on how to treat them and to treat them fairly and kindly. But our founding fathers definitely believe that all men were created equal, and it was those beliefs that moved us from the position of slavery to where we are today. So this particular legislation does not advocate to teach those things. I think we have many other pieces of civic education that likely does include that, but this intention for this legislation is for that to not necessarily be included.
Representative Pearson.
It is nearly unconscionable to believe that you just articulated the theological vision of enslavers in this capital in the year 2026 as though it was okay. Because here's your problem. The Bible, which was written in many different iterations, but is articulating a time of thousands of years ago, was used as justification for enslavement that happened thousands of years later, 400 years ago in our country. And so even if you're trying to articulate, as you are incorrectly, that the Bible was somehow giving permission to slavery, that would have been in the era in which it was happening. It wouldn't be used as a theological justification just 400 years ago in our nation's history. But what is worse, and what is deeply disturbing by what you have just said, is not how you are saying, and that was wrong or immoral. There is no question that slavery was immoral. And you shouldn't need a Bible to know that. And there were always people who were antithetical to the antebellum South's iteration of chattel slavery. The people who were enslaved, who were kidnapped from the continent of Africa and brought here against their will. And I am a Christian, and I am a 7th-generation Tennessean. I have read the Bible from front to back, and the stories about love, about who Christ is, about loving thy neighbor and loving God is what we are told to profess. So anyone who misused the Bible to enslave people, misuse the Bible to keep people in bondage, they were wrong then as you are wrong now. I refuse to support this legislation because the lens by which you are viewing the world is toxic, is damning, is wrong, and is immoral. And you, my fellow colleagues, should do much more work in understanding the history of this country and understanding the history of enslavement and the consequences that it continues to wreak and the barriers it continues to create in this state and around the country. No one should ever be able to use Christianity as justification for the enslavement of people, especially not someone who has the audacity to call themselves a legislator.
Thank you for the question.
Now, let me ask y'all this, man. Is this little nigga just a buck dancing coon, or is he really trying to fight for the liberation of our people, man? I need the family to let me know. I'm about to drop the link in the chat. I want the family to come up. Let me know. Come on up. Let me know, family. And matter of fact, we'll spin a block. We'll be right back in just a second. It's your brother Aboriginal Power. Hit that like button, thumb up the video, and support the channel. Let's go.
Where I'm supposed to be at. Don't interfere cause you don't know me like that. Don't ever play with my emotions. Don't ever play with my emotions. I'm headed to the top where I'm supposed to be at. Don't interfere cause you don't know me like that. Don't ever play with my emotions. Don't ever play with my emotions. When I'm pissed off, I'm like a gun cocked and loaded. Might pop off at any time, don't play with my emotions. They say I'm like my daddy, antisocial and bipolar. Don't deal with the stress, that shit eat at you like Ebola. Cold shoulders what I got, when help is what I needed. Fuck it right, I'm being greedy. Come from mine, you get deleted. I let them make it, they might feel the need to repeat it. Show my loyalty, they don't know how to treat it. Purchases, no receipts with the pack. Want insurances, you gotta pay your fee for that. I ain't tripping, I'ma make it all back on the tax. On the move until it's gone, I don't get to relax. And if you owe me, it ain't safe to say you safe, dog. John Travolta, Nicolas Cage, we gon' face off. It ain't my fault, but in the street, that's how we lay low. They got me moving with this bat like it's baseball. Sometimes your own people the ones that do you dirty. They ain't even 30, trying to get my nigga 30. Know my dog was out here wildin', but I swear he don't deserve it. Kept that stick with him daily, cause them niggas had him nervous for real. I'm headed to the top where I'm supposed to be at. Don't interfere cause you don't know me like that. Don't ever play with my emotions. Don't ever play with my emotions. I'm headed to the top where I'm supposed to be at. Don't interfere cause you don't know me like that. Don't ever play with my emotions. Don't ever play with my emotions.